Yay! Thanks for joining us on Mac TV, everybody. We really appreciate you taking the time to spend a few minutes with us. We've got an absolutely great session today. I'm going to start right off by telling you that Eddie Pita is here with us. Eddie's been one of the best brokers that's ever been part of this organization since she joined, and I'm dying to hear what Eddie's got to say. She's right here, looking gorgeous as ever. First of all, I got to tell you that this is kickoff month. January's kickoff month, January 27th, national kickoff, 4 locations across the country. Make sure that you register and join, because we're going to have a lender fair that I think more than 25 lenders have registered, plus other support providers. So it's going to be a really, really big event. In Vancouver, in Calgary, in Toronto at the Pearson Centre, and in Halifax. Make sure that you're there. There is never a better opportunity for you to network with lenders and network with your peers. I mean, people like Eddie. John wanted me to tell you that MacU's up and running. Make sure you register, because once you register for MacU, you automatically get notified if there's any classes or any changes. I think we have about 800 people registered right now. Just make sure you're on the list. Doesn't mean that you have to go to every single program, but you'll know what's going on. You'll get emails, email announcements about everything that's going on at MacU. Very important thing. Speaking of very important things, our Minister of Finance last week announced some rules. Pretty impactful. There's been a lot of talk within our industry about it. We've got Eddie here, and I'd really like to find out a little bit from you. I mean, we've been getting some lots of talk, lots of information. Camp's actually put out another survey, another consumer survey based just on that, and they talk about the fact that Canadians aren't over indebted. That it's not nearly an issue as much as the finance minister makes it seem. And if anybody wants a copy of that, just drop me an email and I'll send it off to you. I mean, you've read about it and you've heard about it. How do you think it's going to impact you and your customers?
Personally, in my business, it will be great, because, I always say to individuals is this: the strong will survive. Yes, it will impact some individuals, those that are first-time buyers. They will buy less house. Instead of qualifying for $350,000, they qualify perhaps for $300,000. Some issues are Big Brother shouldn't get involved. You can go back to Pierre Trudeau would always say, politics should not be part of the bedroom affairs and so on. I think people just, you can't control people, regardless whether or not it's government, regulations. They will do whatever they want, right? We're all taxpayers. CMHC is, government backed. And at the end, you don't want something in the future that ultimately all of us are responsible. Personally, I think that it's great. This year will be a very busy year, because a lot of people need a lot of coaching. Yes, you are going to be spinning a lot more of your wheels. It'll be tougher to put deals together, because instead of going with the 90% refinancing, going 85% purchases. You buy less house. But I think people also forget that people are spoiled. If you go back since 1962 to now, rates in the last 10 to 15 years, 10 years particularly, have been an average. When I first started in 1998, the rates were 5.6, 5.7, and people soon forget the pain that it was in 1990 and 1981, right? When 1980 and 81, the interest rates were at 17 and 22%. In 1990, the rates were 12 to 14%. So, yes, it is change, but change can be good or bad. It depends on the individual.
Absolutely. I remember I bought a house, I think it was early 90s, and I'm the reason for the real estate crash in Canada, because as soon as I signed the agreement of purchase and sale, the market dropped 25%.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Well, I'm going to use this as an example. Change will tighten things up. So from a perspective of a real estate agent, it will scare them because people start to panic. Unfortunately, panic and fear. People are like, horses, you know, they all go with the crowd, and they react right away. When I started this business on the other side, my dad, I came here on the other side in September 2007, and a year later there was a subprime mess. And my dad said to me, Eddie, you know, things must be quite slow because real estate agents are complaining things are slow with the subprime mess, and of course all the changes when government changed in 2008 from the 30-40 to a 35-year, and then last year, I know, going from the refinance purchases from 95 to the refinances. And I looked at my dad, I go, Dad, hell no, right? We're really busy, because you can understand is that we will touch a client more times than a real estate agent will ever will, because it's like in credit cards. When the banks give you credit cards, if you're good to them, they will up your limit. And the banks know statistically things are against you. That A, you're going to lose your head, B, you're going to lose your job, C, you're going to get sick, or you're going to go through a separation, right? So we're there for them, for the good and the bad. And we'll be able to touch that individual and coach them and help them out. So hell no, let it change, let it tighten up or not, because we're there to help them.
What Eddie's saying, it doesn't really matter what the market is. I mean, you provide a valuable service to your customers. It doesn't matter what's going on. You provide that service, you're going to be successful. Right. One of the things I've seen over the past 3 years, market's been difficult, right?
Correct.
But our good brokers actually doing better. Yeah. In a difficult market. And it's really interesting. Something I got to tell you, I've been doing a little preparation for our kickoff on the 27th on Thursday, and just looking through and see who's putting contacts in. And when I just look at the new contacts created in Mortgage Boss, like the people going in, it's funny. Like you were right at the top. All our good producing agents tend to have a relationship with the customer rather than a relationship with the market.
Correct.
Right?
You are nothing without a customer. When I first started, there was an agent that once told me, Eddie, people know you. They know your name. They know your face. And brand that. And at first I didn't understand that. And when I went out there, I started to connect the dots. You got to understand is that customer will relate to you. And you have to be in front of that customer many ways, you know, either by sending a simple birthday card, right, or a Christmas card, those little things, or even a thank you card after doing their business, right, and just say thank you for your business. I think what happens, a lot of us, especially those that are really busy and do the numbers, they forget to say Thank you. They keep looking for the new, and they forget to say thank you for the old.
Exactly,
because all of us say we have a database, but a database doesn't mean anything unless you work it.
Very good. Hey, I'm going to continue with Eddie, because I think this is just fascinating stuff. If anybody wants a copy of this survey, if any of your customers are feeling a little bit unsure about what's going on right now because of the changes, you want a copy of the survey to maybe share with them or share some of the information with them, as I said, just drop me an email and I'll send you a copy. I just got to wish Mark Corbett, Ad Lackenpaul, and Rob Clancy happy birthday. Happy birthday, you guys. Thanks very much for being part of the organization. I wanted to mention that we've got a new social networking program. Social networking is absolutely huge right now. I mean, that's all you can hear about. We spend a lot of time, effort, research, developing a new social networking program for our brokers, and I think it's rolling out at our next MAC Academy in February. So if you can register, I'm not sure that it's not sold out, but if you can register, go check MAC Academy and see if you can grab yourself a spot. It's going to be a great event. Okay? I've got some success questions for Eddie, and I think Eddie's a perfect example of a successful broker, and I want to ask Eddie these questions, and her answers are going to be enlightening for me and for everybody watching. And the first thing I'd like you to do is just tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, like how you got in the business, where you came from, that sort of stuff.
Wow. I started in 1998. I was part of a training program with Canada Trust. And Canada Trust at that time was looking for individuals with non-banking background. So they were looking for salespeople, and they hired 30 individuals, and I was one of them. And my background before that, I sold chocolate in the corporate market. So where we would go approach corporate companies, instead of giving out your traditional wine bottles or your traditional gift baskets at Christmas time to your staff, we would go think outside of the box by taking corporate logos and create them in chocolate as gifts to your customers and to your client, to your staff. So I was sales. So Canada Trust took us and they trained us for 6 months. And my first year, I remember being on the road, shadowing with some of my coworkers, crying my eyes out. I was going to quit. I'm like, you guys got the wrong person. I don't know anything about a mortgage, right? I sold chocolates. And then I just dawned on me, and I just realized selling chocolates and selling mortgages, it's the same thing. Why? There's many nuts in this business, selling chocolates or mortgages. It's all in the packaging, how you position yourself, how do you present your application. When I'm taking an application with a customer, I tell them, tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly. I need to paint your picture to see how pretty you are, right?